Hello and welcome to Thaiger Bites with Jay and Tim.
Oh yes, hello.
Hello.
What are you doing down there? You've sort of...
Have I gone down?
You've dropped down the seat a little bit.
Shall I lift it up a bit?
Just a little bit, not too much.
There we go.
That's enough.
That's enough.
Okay, well done.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Thaiger Bites. This is where we get to address your comments and feedback from all of our shows on YouTube, as well as Instagram, Facebook, and the Thaiger Talk Forum.
And we get to laugh at some of your really stupid comments,
Well,
whilst we celebrate some of the better ones.
yes, that's right. Always, Thaiger Bites is sponsored by Coffee Culture. Thank you, Coffee Culture. You can buy your taste kit. You can buy the smaller packs, which come in a box, and taste them before you indulge and buy a bigger pack.
A bigger pack. And these are beans.
Yes, they
They
are.
need to be ground.
Or you can get ground coffee or beans from coffeeculture.asia.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's get into it, Tim. First,
Right.
first comment.
The first one's a bit self-serving, but
Okay.
it does actually represent some quite kind comments for our new program this week,
Okay.
which is called,
Asia news today.
which is about,
Asia.
yes, so we've sort of spread out our wings from Thailand, and Stuart Grant was one of the people who sent in some quite nice comments. He said, "Hi Tim, another great edition. Glad to see all the different news covering about the other parts of Asia. May this continue." Well, we certainly hope it will continue, and if you watch it, we'll keep putting it together each day. Thank you.
All right, our first comment, my first comment here is from Martin, who says, "Are you possibly too critical about Thailand? I really like Thailand. Greetings from Samui." Martin, thank you firstly for your comment. I personally don't think we're too critical of Thailand. It just happens that we're reporting the news, and Thailand does seem to make a lot of mistakes sometimes. It does get criticized sometimes, but apart from reporting the facts, it's not like we make anything up. It's our job to report sometimes the mistakes, sometimes the good things. We report a lot of good things as well.
I think if you tune into the news anywhere in the world, you're going to see bad things that are happening in that particular country.
Yeah.
It's just the nature of news. As far as us sometimes bagging some of the decisions that are made, or when mistakes are made on like the Thailand Pass, for example, I mean, it's sort of our role to bring those to your attention, to talk about some of the shortcomings. We don't have any influence over what happens with these things, but sometimes we have to report them to bring them to your attention so that you don't fall into traps, and hopefully we can save you from a few mistakes. But I don't think we're necessarily or outwardly negative about Thailand at all.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, this place is my home.
Mine too.
Yeah.
We love the place, and we live here. And
Yeah,
we've sort of got
fortunate to live here.
we've got a perspective, I suppose, to provide to you that's fairly accurate on our day-to-day, interactions with everything Thailand. My turn. This one's about the Thailand Pass. In fact, the next 4 or 5 are about the Thailand Pass.
Oh, wow, okay.
It does tend to be a fairly very popular topic. Milan Petrovic says, "Sorry, but I just unsubscribed.
Oh no, Milan.
Not because of your excellent job,
Oh.
but because I give up from Thailand, as my plans for coming there this year are definitely over. I'm sorry for the locals and do not understand why there are no louder fights against that stupid government that managed to devastate the tourism sector." So this is an interesting thing. I mean, the fact that he's unsubscribed is unfortunate, and we're sorry to lose you as a subscriber, particularly when it's not our fault. But you're, I suppose, representing a lot of different comments, and we're going to go through a few others that are just sort of fed up with having to face the paperwork simply for wanting to come to Thailand. So, Milan, we're sorry to lose you as a subscriber, but I think a lot of people are not particularly happy about the Thailand Pass.
Yes.
Do you want me to do another one while I'm here?
Sure.
DJ Wangchuk.
Wow.
I have to read some of these names carefully to make sure I'm not sort of saying naughty words that are sort of hidden in the names.
Yeah, some people do that.
You know, like The Simpsons and
Yeah.
Bart calling Moe.
Yeah.
Really? Can you remember that?
No.
It's like so...
I just went with it.
You're great. If the Thai government is really aiming for wealthy and old visitors, I hope it knows that they don't like inconveniences. Actually, they can barely fill out their arrival card. They just want to pick up their passports and land directly on the beach. I think he meant to say they just want to pack up their... I'll change that because I'm sure that's what he meant. Pack up their passports and land on the beach. Well, there you go. Not all people are totally feeble when they can't fill out an arrival card. And as we mentioned this morning on Good Morning Thailand, Jay, as I turn my sound off, I think the Thailand Pass might linger longer, even though they might remove a lot of the paperwork and the uploading and the restrictions.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to become the replacement for that old arrival card.
And it's quite efficient.
That's not a bad idea if it does that.
It can be used in a very efficient, modern way. Before you travel to Thailand, instead of filling out those arrival cards or departure cards, everything is online. It's transparent. It can be visited easily, via phone. Everybody has a phone. You can connect to it from Wi-Fi or whatever.
Because the problem with the arrival card is always... when they come around with the cards, go, I haven't got a pen. You're asking for pens, and there's one pen for the whole plane. And it's probably not a bad thing, but clearly they need to make sure it's much easier to use than it currently is.
Yep. All right, my next comment is from All Things Important Reviews. And he or she says, you'd have to be suicidal to drive a motorbike in Bangkok. Totally insane. It's a death trap.
Well, you get around on motorbikes sitting on the back of them.
Yes.
I get around on motorbikes sitting on the back of them.
Yes.
And my general feeling about them, and I've been doing this for 10 years, is they're very skilled drivers. They do it all day, every day. They know the movement of their motorbike with a person on the back.
Yes.
And they usually get you from here to there much faster than like a taxi or walking. The problem with walking around Bangkok is the sidewalks are so rough. So I think you got to admit that the motorcycle taxis are a pretty efficient and relatively safe way of getting around. I don't hear of a lot of motorcycle taxis having accidents, to be honest.
Motorcycle taxis, no.
Yeah, because I think that this is their job and they do it pretty well. Yeah. I have been told, I've got a spare motorbike in Phuket, and I said, I want to bring it to Bangkok. I've been told, you are not taking your motorcycle to Bangkok. Yeah. You will not be driving around the capital. I thought I'd be fine here.
But if we're being completely honest, some of the motorbike taxi drivers, they might not be getting in accidents themselves, but they possibly might cause other people to get accidents because I've seen them break traffic lights all the time.
Right. That happened to me yesterday.
And they crisscross in like a 4-way road, and it's like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah.
Just wait. It's like 100 seconds. Your life is more important than, I'm going to reach wherever I want to go 100 seconds earlier. It's not worth it.
Well, the more fares they get in an hour, the more money they make. So, okay.
Yeah, but I'm not putting my life on the line for him to get one more ride.
So there was a motorcycle taxi driver yesterday who went through a red light. And when we came to the next one, he was about to do the same thing. I just tapped him on the shoulder and he stopped. So I made it quite clear, well, with a tap on the shoulder.
A gentle tap? Did you give him a judo chop?
Don't do that again.
Judo chop!
Yes.
All right.
Vladimir Smith has got a solution for the Thai government and their problem about keeping the baddies out. This is probably in reaction to some of the problems they've had in Phuket with a career criminal being knocked off by some Canadian hitmen. Vladimir's got it sorted out. He said, just post signs at the border that says, no riffraff.
All right. That seems efficient.
Yes. Just big sign, no riffraff.
Fair.
There
Fair,
you go.
Vladimir.
Problem solved. Thanks, Vladimir.
Solved. All right, here we go. I've got an interesting comment here from Santiago. Now, I'll tell you interesting after I read it out. Santiago Naves Gomez says, why the Thaiger have J? This person has nothing going for him. And when I first read it, blood started to boil, Tim. My blood started to boil.
Yes.
And I saw red. And I was ready
to fire
to become
back.
a keyboard warrior, to fire back. And then I thought to myself, you know what? Santiago's probably never seen me before. But, this is what I wrote to him, and I'd like to read it out.
Oh, dear. So his name's Santiago?
Yes, Santiago.
Okay.
And I said, firstly, it's Thaiger. Secondly,
What do
Santiago.
you mean by it's Thaiger?
Well, he called it Thaiger.
Oh, he spelled it wrong.
He spelt it wrong.
Oh.
Yes. So, yeah, firstly, it's Thaiger, Santiago. Secondly, Santiago, I have a lot of things going on for me. For example, I'm tall. I'm fairly tall, you'd say. My mum's my biggest fan. That's always good. And I can do splits.
You can do the splits.
I can do the splits, believe it or
Go
not.
on.
You're not going to do it now.
Go on, do it now.
150,000 subscribers.
Come on.
But then,
Come on, do the splits.
Do the splits.
Go on, do the
I'm not going to
splits.
do the splits. Let me go on with my comment, please.
I want to see him do the split. Do you want to see him do the splits?
So then I visited Santiago's channel.
Oh, here we go.
And I saw he only had one video posted of a song of Blues Boogie Jam featuring Santana. And I was like, I quite like Santana.
Right.
So I replied back, continuing saying, so even though I know nothing about you, Santiago, at least I know you like good music. You've got that going for you, so good on you. And I've got nothing but love for you, brother. Jay, the Thaiger. And that's all I've got to say to Santiago.
So you waited 5 minutes trolling him.
Not trolling him, I meant it. Santiago or anyone else, if it makes you feel better by trying to have a go at me, that's okay.
Get over it, Jay. God, just do the splits.
That's okay.
Come on, do the splits.
I wish you namaste.
What was his first line?
Why the Thaiger have Jay? I don't know.
Santiago, I couldn't agree with you more. More about the Thailand Pass, Jay.
Yeah.
Why have Thaiger have Jay? I'm trying to say it with a...
No, he sounds Spanish.
I know. I've got to
What
sound
was
Spanish.
that?
I know. I sort of... a Japanese in Spain or something. I visited Phuket this is from Steve Shipley, who's not from Spain or Japan. He could be. I visited Phuket in January and admit I loved the place, but I won't be trying again until it's a lot easier. A lot was spelt in capitals. Too stressful, too much of a gamble. And I think, again, just more comments, and we would have hundreds of comments every week about people saying, look, we want to come back to Thailand, but you've just got to clean up your act. Not us, but the government. And if you look around, I think there's a comment about what I'm about to say, so I'll get to that later.
All right.
Yes, Thailand Pass gets a lot of commentary.
Okay. My comment here is slightly confusing, but at the same time, quite expressive. Kessie32 says, no, your freedom is over. We in Europe are not so stupid to take a vaccine. Thais can't think for themselves. Simple people. Yeah, freedom in Mexico. Because we bring the money. Thailand is over. 3 puke emojis.
Puke emojis.
Yeah, I felt like he was in a rap battle, but with himself.
Where's he from?
No idea.
And his name is?
Kessie.
Okay. So he's obviously from Europe. I'm getting the idea.
Yeah, I guess.
Or Mexico. It's a bit hard to tell.
I don't know.
He's multicultural.
Yes.
And he doesn't want to have a vaccine. Is that what he's sort of saying?
Yeah, something like that.
Did he mention the word
not-
sheep?
No, he didn't. But
I
he
think
said,
all these,
we're not stupid to take a vaccine.
All the anti-vaxxers, I think, sort of watch the same 3 YouTube channels.
I see.
And they all repeat exactly the sort of same narrative. It's like they sort of copy and paste from all the web pages.
Yeah.
But good on you. Nessie, is it?
Kessie.
Kessie. You know what would make things better, Jay?
What?
If you did the splits.
I'm not going to do the splits.
It would make things a whole lot better.
It needs to be a reward. It needs when the day you wear a monocle, I'll do the splits.
No.
Yes.
No, the splits. I think Jay doing the splits.
150k.
We'd have to test the floor first.
I've made a promise. I promise I will do the splits for 150,000 subscribers.
We'll have to do a load test on the floor before you do it, I think. Okay, hotel scams is the next topic. This from Doug, Texas. Actually, in Asia News Today, a new program we're doing on the Thaiger. Just watch for the red T rather than the yellow T. There was a story about hotel scams in Jakarta.
Okay.
So it's not just Thailand that's having a few of these alleged scams. But Doug, Texas, we have a lot of people from Texas.
Yes, we do.
Do you notice that?
I have.
I'm assuming he's from Texas. It might be his surname. He could be from Lithuania. I don't know. There's growing complaints about the cost of isolation hotels. If a person gets a positive test result and gets isolated for a number of days, it's expensive. There could be a financial hardship for some people. More and more people are advising not to come to Thailand now. So, yeah, there are some cases, and we've had a lot reported to the Thaiger, but these are, in the cases of the emails and the messages we get, we're only getting one side of the story. We haven't been able to contact the hotel. Sometimes they don't even mention it. We can really only confirm from police reports. In other words, people go to the police and they make a report. If somebody sends us a message and says, "Oh, I've been to this hotel and this has happened," we can contact them and say, "Well, are you okay?" But we can't report that because it's really only just somebody just sending us a random message. So, but if even half of them are true, then it is a problem.
The only thing I thought during that entire comment was that if that man's last name really is Texas, and he's not from Texas, then he's got to explain himself for the rest of his life. Hi, Doug Texas from Lithuania. Hi, Doug Texas from Japan.
Okay.
Just saying.
Hashtag the splits.
Martin P says, I like the new format, he's talking about Good Morning Thailand, where you have a comment moderator and a reader. You two seem much less distracted during the program. Now, to be fair, some people have also commented that, go back to the, you guys should read your own comments. But I agree with Martin, and I think we've been able to enjoy ourselves
well, I've been enjoying myself. I'm not sure about you.
Well, yes, the program I feel has been a lot better with Carmel reading the comments and being able to moderate them.
By the way,
Yes.
Carmel usually does our English social media.
That's right.
And we threw her in the deep end on Monday saying, "You're going to read the comments." She's never done anything like that before. She's never performed on camera or anything.
Yes.
I mean, she's got one eye and she uses crutches. Yeah. So,
she's got like red and blonde hair. It's strange.
Yeah, and she's 84. So she's, I think, doing pretty well considering, that we did throw her in the deep end. So, and look, Carmel's performance has been great for the first week.
Yes.
But I'm absolutely sure it's going to improve. Yes. And she's a little bit, careful about reading out some of the comments, which are usually sometimes naughty or derogatory about you and me. We don't usually mind those comments.
She's got to get used to your comments as well, because some of you find very creative ways to say things we shouldn't say live.
Yeah, that's the problem if we do our own comments, that we start reading them and halfway through we go, "Oh, we shouldn't be saying that."
Yeah.
What did I say something the other day? I'm a bit like...
something about the government and the monarchy or something.
Oh, yeah. I'm a bit like Ron Burgundy. Mm-hmm. If you put it on the teleprompter, I say it.
Yeah.
And, do you? And you don't realise what you've said. You know the movie Anchorman?
Yes, of course.
Good, just checking.
All right.
Thailand Pass has come up for another comment. I do promise I've got some other things to talk about. Rasmus is talking and he says, "I never thought in a million years that a country so heavily dependent on tourists would be one of the last to fully reopen. I still kind of want to go," using some good conversational lingo. "I went to Philippines now, but I'm going to Thailand as soon as they drop all that testing on the 5th day. It's basically 4 days of constant worry you're going to get COVID." I understand exactly what you say. You come into Thailand, on that first day you have your PCR test. That's probably harrowing enough. Apart from getting a stick up your nose, you've then got to worry about if the result's going to come back positive or negative. But then the next 5 days, you're going to be, free to do what you do. You come back on the 5th day. I'd be wandering around just avoiding any contact with anybody and hiding in the corner, because I don't want on that 5th day to come back with a positive test, because then off you go into a hotel for 10 days at your cost, which the insurance won't cover. I'm going to have a cough. I don't have COVID, by the way. Allegedly. Over to you.
Well, actually, my last comment is way too good, and it needs to be the last comment to end the show.
So I'll do a few more.
Yes, please.
I've got 3 more to go. Thaiger audio comes under criticism.
Okay.
Not criticism, but somebody making a recommendation. As I speak into my desk mic. How about wearing clip-on microphones? That will help with your audio and also help with the coffee mugs banging on the table.
Coffee mugs banging on the table. Oh no.
That noise? How about this noise? Look, we have tried lapel mics, but they pick up a lot more of the ambient noise than these are very directional.
Yes.
So I think since we got these and we got our fancy mixer with all the bright lights, which we call HAL 2000,
Yeah.
our audio has improved a lot. We also operate in a working office. So at the moment, everybody's just being very quiet, but there are 30 people out there rustling their chips as they have their snack in the afternoon.
Making sure they don't squeak, their shoes don't squeak while they walk.
And just about everybody's shoes squeak on this floor. We should get one of those on-air lights. That would look very pro, wouldn't it?
But then it would be
on air.
It would just be more funny when people just ignore it. They'd start talking about it more. Look, they're live.
Yes. Oh, Jay and Tim, are you live? It says you're live. Yeah, we're live. Okay, place names. This is an interesting one and come up this week. And this refers to the, not the renaming, but the reaffirming that the proper name of Bangkok is Krung Thep Maha Nakhon.
Krung Thep Maha Nakhon.
Hi, Jay and Tim. Yes. Here in New Zealand, so assumedly Greg Surrey comes from New Zealand, we often interchange place names. Of course, the most common being Aotearoa, which is the name for the Maori name for New Zealand, but also many of our mountains have dual naming. Aoraki, which is Mount Cook, Mount Egmont is Taranaki, etc.
Taranaki is a cool name.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm half New Zealander. But he's sort of right. There are places in the world that have got dual names.
Have you ever admitted that on camera?
Do people care?
Yes.
My mother was a New Zealander. I've spent a lot of my youth in New Zealand.
He's fake Australian. He was a fake Australian this whole time.
I was born in Australia. Yep. By the way, and people are going to say, I have no idea who you're talking about, but happy 88th birthday to Sir Les Patterson and Dame Edna Everage. Because your manager, Barry Humphries, turned 88 yesterday. So happy birthday to the great comedian Barry Humphries. Dame Edna Everage and Sir Les Patterson were his creations. You don't know them? Anyway, happy birthday. And in celebration of your 88th birthday, Jay is going to do the splits.
No, I'm not. It's exclusive content.
So I think that's an interesting point, that other parts of the world do have sometimes sort of English names and then local native names. And so Bangkok is the same. It's all the locals here call it Krung Thep. And then you've got Krung Thep Maha Nakhon, and then you've got the one that Natty did yesterday that goes on for half an hour. So yeah, he's pointing out that
it's like in Game of Thrones when they introduce the Khaleesi. Khaleesi of the breaker of chains,
yes.
ruler of all. Like you have to say all the titles.
Okay. Oh, I see.
So the full name of Bangkok, there's a lot of meaning behind it.
But as I mentioned, that there India now, Mumbai used to be called Bombay. And Peking, Beijing used to be called Peking,
yes.
etc., etc. So there's a lot of there's the local names, and then there's the anglicised version.
Phuket used to be called Jungsilon.
Jungsilon, because there were junks there, and they came from Ceylon.
Sheme?
The Dutch brought them there.
Sheme?
Phuket called Jungsilon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
We did something of sorts of this about a couple of months ago, and I got it completely wrong because Shai said, "Yeah, Jay, you're right. You're absolutely right. I checked it, and we were wrong." So if I'm wrong, blame Shai.
Yeah, that was Chai.
This time.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Chai, that's enough talking, okay? Another one about place names. This one from Traveller, spelt with one L, so probably from the US.
Oh.
Or he might be French, he could be Traveller.
Trevilla.
The new name for the city formerly known as Bangkok, the name just rolls off the tongue, just not my tongue. How long did it take Burma to be called Myanmar? Decades.
Yeah. Some people still call it Burma. Like in Thai, we don't ever say Myanmar. We say Pama.
Which is your
Burma.
version of Burma.
Yeah.
And the Burmese mostly call it Burma as well. And they call themselves Burmese. We had this discussion for many hours earlier in the week with our news team whether we should be calling them Burmese people or Myanmar people, or is it the Burmese army or is it the Myanmar army? So again, you can sort of use one or the other. As long as people know what you're saying, that's the main thing.
All right.
But do you think that there are going to be many foreigners who are going to, the immigration says, now you've arrived in Thailand, where are you going? Oh, I'm going to Krung Thep Mahanakhon.
No.
The immigration guy
Just for
will go,
jokes.
What? Yeah, exactly. He said, where did that come from? I think, I don't know, Bangkok, the name just conjures up the smells and the sights and the vibe of one of the great Asian
They've
cities.
got songs about it. One night in Bangkok. It's not one night in Krung Thep Mahanakhon.
It doesn't work. I mean, Murray Head would be going apoplectic.
Sure. All right. Are
That's
you
it.
ready? This is the last comment of the day from Shizant7, who says,
You've built this up, you know. You've
Yes.
really built this. Better be good.
ladies and gentlemen, now listen here, Jay, and listen, Tim. I can't have you making disparaging comments about Jet. He is a sex god. Leave him alone.
Well, we can't really, I suppose, make any qualified comment about whether he's a sex god or
Shizant
not.
has spoken.
I'm not sure where she gets that information from.
She or he, who knows?
She or he. I would go so far as saying he would be a hair idol,
Yes.
but I wouldn't go so far as describing him as a sex god.
Hair idol. Hair god?
No.
Hair prophet?
I'm going as far as idol. That's as far as I'm putting him up. Why isn't he here today, by the way? He usually pops in on Fridays.
He does. Unfortunately, he didn't have any important work in Bangkok. He just
Couldn't care less.
He just couldn't
about
care
us.
less. Yeah.
There you go.
He's a busy bee. He's got places to be.
Just
Yep.
doing his hair all day.
Yep.
He does have, admittedly, amazing hair.
Yeah. It does sound like it's going to be a TV show, Hair Idol. You know, people from all over the world come to show off their looks.
Are you a little bit jealous about Jet's hair?
I'm just jealous that he has hair. I mean, I wish I had at least even 20% extra hair. So
You could get some extensions.
I guess I could.
Yeah,
Well, I
and
take his
get them
advice.
braided
I
or
take his
something?
advice.
Okay.
I just admire it for what it is.
Yeah, it is pretty amazing. I don't care because I haven't had hair for so long. I just forgot what a comb or brush is. I go about once a week and that's it. All done.
All right, with that, we shall end the show. Ladies and gentlemen, if you do have any comments, please leave them in the comment section below. Please click like if you've enjoyed the video.
And it's called Thaiger Bites #the splits.
Sure.
By the way, what's behind us? We're not quite sure yet.
What behind us is actually a green screen. It's not whatever you think it is.
I think they're going to put something on it that might be funny or even a little bit rude. That's what I'm thinking.
Who?
Whoever's editing it.
Well, I shall make sure that it
bet
is
they
not
do.
rude. I don't think it'll be rude.
It will be.
Why?
We've found a photo of you doing the splits. So that's what is going to be on the green screen.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you have a great day. We hope you have a better weekend, and we'll see you next week.